Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Stotara Satat Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Maharaj Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vallabha Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayed Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Good morning everyone, Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 8, text 36. Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi iti ukta saha Bhagavan Harihi Vyadata Avyahata Aishwaryaha Krida Manuja Balakaha Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi Ti yukta sa Bhagavan Harihi Vyadatta Vyadaishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi Ti yukta sa Bhagavan Harihi Vyadatta Vyartha Aishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi Ti yukta sa Bhagavan Harihi Vyadatta Hata Aishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha. Please chant. Bhagavan Ishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha. Vaishnavis. Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi Ti yukta sa Bhagavan Harihi Vyadata Vyahata Aishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi Yadukta Bhagavan Harihi Vyadata Vyahata Aishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi Ti yukta sa Bhagavan Harihi Vyadata Vyahata Aishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha Yadi evam tarhi vyadehi Bhagavan Harihi Vyadata Vyahata Aishwarya Krida Manuja Balakaha. Thank you. We'll do the word for word. Yadi, if, evam, it is so, tarhi, then, vyadehi, open your mouth wide. I want to see. Iti uktaha, in this way ordered by Mother Yashoda. Saha, he, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Harihi, the Supreme Lord. Vyadata, opened his mouth. Avyahata Aishwarya, without minimizing any potencies of absolute opulence. Aishvaryasya samagrasya. Krida, pastimes. Manuja balakaha. Exactly like the child of a human being. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Mother Yashoda challenged Krishna, "If you have not eaten earth, then open your mouth wide." When challenged by his mother in this way, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, to exhibit pastimes like a human child, opened his mouth. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is full of all opulences, did not disturb his mother's parental affection, his opulence was automatically displayed. For Krishna's opulence is never lost at any stage, but is manifest at the proper time. Please repeat. Mother Yashoda challenged Krishna. If you have not eaten earth, then open your mouth wide. When challenged by his mother in this way, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, to exhibit pastimes like a human child, opened his mouth. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is full of all opulences, did not disturb his mother's parental affection, his opulence was automatically displayed. For Krishna's opulence is never lost at any stage, but is manifest at the proper time. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Without disturbing the ecstasy of his mother's affection, Krishna opened his mouth and displayed his own natural opulences. When a person is given varieties of food, there may be 101 varieties, but if one likes ordinary spinach, he prefers to eat that. Similarly, although Krishna was full of opulences, now, by the order of Mother Yashoda, he opened wide his mouth like a human child, and did not neglect the transcendental humor of maternal affection. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruhu Shri Yuta Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Śrīmate Tamal Krishna Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you. I especially want to thank His Grace Aniruddha Prabhu and his team for giving me this service today. I seek all of your blessings and pray that I can perform this service properly in a manner which is pleasing to all of you and to our lordships. We are in a very interesting section of the Bhagavatam now. where God or Sri Krishna displays his human-like forms and pastimes, and at the same time, his most powerful mystic opulences. So there seems to be like some contradictions exhibited in the same pastime. So here we see in the description, in the translation, that Mother Yashoda challenged Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No? Although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So Shri Krishna is described, or Bhagavan is described in the Vishnu Purana by Parashar Muni as one who is, here Srila Prabhupada also says in the translations, Aishwarasya Samagrasya Virasya Yashashashriya Jnana Vairagya Chaiva Bhaga Iti Shanamgana. That the definition of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one who is full of Aishwarya, of all opulences, of wealth, right? Of strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. These are the 6 opulences by which we can understand who is Krishna, or who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And here we see that this same Krishna, who is accepted in the Vedas as the King of Heaven, no? In the Upanishads as the impersonal Brahman, who is accepted in philosophy as the supreme male, right? The yogis accept him as super soul. The devotees accept him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This same Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of all 6 opulences, is accepted by Mother Yashoda as her ordinary child and not as the Supreme Lord. Not that she doesn't know, but her understanding of the Lord's Aishwarya is covered by her love for the Supreme Lord, is Madhurya. I hope you can hear. Can you hear me? Yeah. So, Lord Brahma also says, na, Govindam Adi Purusham, and he offers his obeisances, that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Ishwar. The Bhagavatam describes him as Avatari, the Supreme Lord. From him all the other avatars come. And yet, we see here that Krishna is covering all these opulences and exhibiting his love, impelled by Mother Yashoda's love for him, in the mood of parental love. So when someone who is not familiar with the Vedic literatures listens to this or reads this pastime, they only see a child, right? An ordinary child who's opening his mouth at his mother's command. But the devotees see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Avajananti mamudha manusham tanum ashrita. No? Parambhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. That Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that foods derive me when I descend in the human form. So this is Krishna's magic, right? His ultimate magic. That he comes and he shows his pastimes as an ordinary human child, full of all the follies of a little child. And if we do not understand his transcendental nature, we will not understand that this is the Supreme Lord. Unless we have the knowledge, we cannot understand. So here it's interesting that although Mother Yashoda did not ask to see Krishna's mystic potency, she was just a concerned mother, no? All she wanted to know is whether this restless child has eaten dirt. That was her intent. Her intent was not to find out if he is the Lord. But here we see Krishna, just see, no? He is showing his universal form. And here Srila Prabhupada in the purport gives us a very nice analogy. Did you catch it? The analogy in the purport? Where he describes how the love of Krishna surpasses his Aishwarya feature. The example given here by Srila Prabhupada is the analogy of spinach. If someone is offered a feast with 101 preparations, he says, right? But he loves, his favorite thing is spinach, right? then even though he has 101 preparations, he will actually go to the spinach, and that is what he relishes. So similarly here, although Krishna has so many opulences, right? And this may mystify the mystics or the yogis, but because he is partial to the love of his devotee, he's partial to Mother Yashoda's Vatsalya Bhav, that trumps everything, right? So Mother Yashoda is commanding him like an ordinary mother, open your mouth wide. Not only open your mouth, but wide, so I can see. Your friends are complaining, even your older brother is complaining, so I have to come to the bottom of this. You are such a restless child, and Krishna, he's denying. I didn't eat that. My friends are just against me. They have all become in cahoots, and also Balaram has joined them, and he's also saying, I have eaten that. But I haven't eaten that. So then Mother Yashoda says, okay, then prove it to me. Let me see if you have eaten that or not. And then she asks him to open his mouth wide, you know. And so we see here Krishna displays his love for Mother Yashoda. We say in Bhagavad Gita 18:55, no? Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashtashmitatvataha. That Krishna says that only by devotional service I can be known. We see the yogis, they strive so hard. The jnanis, they undergo so many austerities, and they try to understand what is the absolute truth. And here, it seems like there's this simple woman, the queen of the cowherd men in a small village, who is commanding the Supreme Lord. She's not requesting, like Arjuna was requesting Krishna when he was in chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita to show his universal form. She's just commanding him that let me see in your mouth, like if you have actually eaten dirt. So, and we see that Krishna is also not disturbing the mood of his mother. No, he is completely subservient to supporting the mood of his mother of parental affection. And he just obeys. He doesn't push back. He doesn't try and give her an opposing argument now. No, he just opens his mouth like an ordinary child. And see, here we see the difference between Mother Yashoda and Arjun. No? Here Mother Yashoda is commanding Krishna, open your mouth. Whereas Arjun in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 11, he's requesting actually Krishna, that if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, and then he addresses Krishna as, oh my master, O master of all mystic power, then you kindly show me that unlimited universal self. So he makes a request. Mother Yashoda, however, doesn't make this request. But because of her love, she is automatically shown the full universal form of the Lord. And so she doesn't have to request. Krishna just... And because the opulence of Krishna is intrinsically his nature, just like a person who is eating a feast, he intrinsically loves spinach. So naturally, in some ways, the intrinsic nature of Krishna is displayed also, his opulence, automatically, without any request by Mother Yashoda. But very quickly, what triumphs his intrinsic nature is also that he loves his devotees more than anything else. So then, very quickly, this cosmic manifestation is covered, and Mother Yashoda thinks, oh, this is my child. She thinks, oh, I'm having a fever. Or this was something transient. Or I just had some dream. No, or some temporary thing was there, and I just forget it. This is my son, and I want to actually see if he has eaten dirt. And she is not disturbed, just temporarily disturbed. Whereas in the Bhagavad Gita, we see Arjun is overcome by fear. He is awestruck, no? And he trembles to see this form. And then he asks Krishna that, please, this form is so gigantic and so full of opulences, it's so bright that I cannot even bear to see this form. And it's very difficult to have relationship with you in this form where you are showing your opulence. So please, you show me your Somya Rupa, your two-handed, beautiful, loving form. That is the form I like to see. No? So, and he has to request Krishna to withdraw that universal form. Whereas in case of Mother Yashoda, Krishna just withdraws it automatically because he understands and he wants to support his mother's mood of his bhava of Vatsalya Ras. So we see that. And we see how Mother Yashoda's love for her child overcomes the Aishwarya feature of the Lord. And we see in chapter 11, the opulence of the Lord is displayed, but here in chapter 8, his sweetness is displayed in this 10th canto. So, and then Mother Yashoda's love for Krishna automatically increases. She's not struck with fear, right? Thinking, oh, this is the Supreme Lord, I cannot chastise him. No, she thinks, this is my child. If I don't correct him now, he will get into trouble when he grows older. Now, when I was reading this, here we see that Mother Yashoda's opulence is described. So what are some of the features about Lord Krishna which provokes her love for Krishna? Like, what are the things that when she sees or she understands, which makes her affection for Krishna more? Can you remember some of them from the Nectar of Devotion? Something? Okay, so I'll, no. So specifically, the Nectar of Devotion lists that this parental love is increased, the impetus for this love is Krishna's bodily color, the hue of the monsoon cloud, which is very attractive and pleasing. His all auspicious bodily features. They're just seeing his bodily features, seeing the little teeth in her mouth, Mother Yashoda becomes completely enamored by her child. Then also his mildness, here he doesn't push back, he just obeys his mother. His sweet words, his simplicity, shyness, and his humility. His constant readiness to offer respect to the elderly and his charity. So these are some of the qualities of Krishna which are considered to be provocations for aesthetic love in Vatsalya Ras. And Mother Yashoda herself displays her ecstasy in parental love, no? How she responds, because her conviction is that she is superior to Krishna. This is the salient feature of Vatsalya Ras, right? The devotee who is in parental rasa, in Vatsalya, thinks, I am superior to Krishna. She doesn't consider that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And therefore, she thinks, right, that I have to take care of this child. If I don't feed him, if I don't teach him, then he'll become a rascal, right, a ruffian. So I have to discipline this child and teach him the ways of this world. She doesn't think that he could possibly have lifted Govardhan Hill. She thinks, oh, Nanda Maharaj did that. She doesn't think that Krishna appeared out of his own sweet will, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. No, he comes out of his own free will. She thinks, because Nanda Maharaj, my husband, and I prayed to have the Supreme Lord as our son, therefore we have been blessed with a very transcendental child. She doesn't even she doesn't remember that Krishna has come, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, has become her child. She thinks just because we have prayed to Vishnu, therefore he has become our child. And and this way he's very kind. So therefore, one of this devotee in Vatsalya Ras prays like this from Nectar of Devotion, this quote, "Let me take shelter of the elderly parental devotees of Lord Krishna. They are always anxious to serve Krishna and to maintain him, and they are always so kind to him. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto them for being so kind to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the parent of the whole universe." So she is the parent of the one who is the parent of the whole universe. And therefore we offer our respectful obeisances to Mother Yashoda and pray that we can develop the same love for the Supreme Lord that she has. No? Similarly, there is a prayer in the Nectar of Devotion quoted by the Brahman who says, and this is a famous one, here's a quote, "Let others worship the Vedas and the Upanishads, and let others worship the Mahabharata if they are so afraid of material existence and want to become liberated from that condition. But as far as I am concerned, I wish only to worship Maharaj Nanda, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is crawling in his courtyard as his own child." So this is the prayer the devotee in Vatsalya Ras, in devotional service also prays, that I am not attached to understanding the superiority or the position of the Supreme Lord, of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No? I don't want liberation from material existence. No? I just want to worship this wonderful devotee, Maharaj Nanda, who by his bhakti has forced the Lord to appear as his child and to crawl on his hands and legs in his courtyard, covered with cow urine and cow dung and dust, in the dust of Raja. And he considers him his own child that he has to discipline, right? So we see this is the parental love which is shown by Mother Yashoda. So can we think of other personalities who have the same mood of Vatsalya as Mother Yashoda? Who? Rohini Mātāji, yes. Who else? Someone here? Sorry. Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata, yes. In the other incarnation, very nice. Who else? Kunti Maharani, yes. She prays to Lord Krishna, right? Even when she offers prayers not like how we do from the feet, but she starts at the navel, thinking that the Lord will be embarrassed if I address him as my master. Yes, very nice. Kunti Maharani. Nanda Maharaj himself, right? We should not forget that. All the elderly gopis, not just Mother Rohini, all the elderly gopis also. The Nectar of Devotion also lists Devaki, the wife of, for maternal love, the wife of Vasudeva, right? And then all the other wives of Vasudeva. And yes, and then we also said the Kunti Maharani. Also, Krishna's Guru, Sandipani Muni. He also considers him, sometimes the Guru thinks these are my children, right? Although he may be a sannyasi, but these are my children. I have to take care of them, I have to maintain them, I have to teach them so they can, progress in their spiritual life. So, and the Nectar of Devotion gives the hierarchy of those devotees in maternal rasa. And so the highest maternal ras is described or is embodied by Maharaj Yashoda, by Mother Yashoda, followed by Nanda Maharaj. So in that order. So first it lists Yashoda, then Nanda Maharaj, then Rohini, then the elderly gopis of Vrindavan, then Devaki, and then the other 15 wives of Vasudeva, and then Kunti Maharani, like that. So, and then how does Mother Yashoda display this love? What is the process or what does she do which makes us understand that she is, serving Krishna in the mood of a mother? In the Nectar of Devotion, there is a description of Mother Yashoda's love. She says that after rising in the morning early, Mother Yashoda first of all offered her breast milk to Krishna. Very unique to a mother, right? And then she began to chant various mantras for his protection. We see, so Mother Yashoda is always concerned that my child may get into trouble. Mothers are anxious for the safety and protection of their child. So Mother Yashoda is no different. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a child, she still prays to Vishnu that please protect this restless child. He doesn't know how to protect himself. So you please protect him. Then she would decorate her forehead very nicely and bind his arms with protective talismans. So she also puts these protective talismans on his arms, on his body, to protect him from all kinds of danger. And she has enough reason, right? He has already upset that cart, the big cart fell on him, and he didn't even sustain any scratches. And then, of course, this witch Putana has already come and tried to poison him. And then she fell, 8-mile-long demoness. And by the grace of the Lord and her prayer, she's thinking, Krishna is unharmed, just crawling on her body. He did not get crushed. Then the Trinavrata Divan comes, and this huge whirlwind, and then Krishna is lost. She cannot find him. But still, all this subsides by her prayers, and then he is returned to her unharmed. He's just smiling as if nothing happened. So she's thinking that because I am praying to the Lord, because I'm always doing things to protect him, by giving, like doing protective mantras, putting these talismans on his arms, my child is protected. And so the Nectar of Devotion says, by all these activities, it is definitely understood that she is the emblem of all maternal affection for Krishna. Similarly, there's a description of Nanda Maharaj's love in the same chapter. That it describes when Krishna was a baby, one day he was walking in the courtyard, capturing the finger of his father. And because he could not walk steadily, he appeared to be almost falling down. So he's walking unsteadily like a child learning to walk. And he's holding on to his father's finger for support. The support of the whole universe is holding on to his father's finger for support, so he doesn't fall. While Nanda Maharaj was giving protection to his transcendental son in this way, all of a sudden, there were drops of tears in his eyes, and he became overwhelmed with joy. So when he's thinking about how fragile is my child, no? How such a tender, delicate body, and the floor is rough, and he doesn't know how to walk yet. If I don't support him, he's going to fall and hurt himself. So thinking about this, he was overwhelmed by paternal affection, and then tears came into his eyes. So let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of King Nanda. So in addition to the Krishna's bodily features, there are other things which provoke or increase attachment to Krishna in this mood. And the Nectar of Devotion describes Krishna's age, his childhood age, his dress like a child, his movements, uncoordinated movements, hesitancy, like that, sweet words that he speaks, his smile, and his different forms of childish play. How he plays, and in this case, he's like eating dirt, he's telling lies. These increase these are the stimuli for increasing paternal love for Krishna. So we see that Krishna's development is described in 4 stages, right? He starts as Kaumara, which is from birth to 5. Then he comes to Pauganda, right? 6 to 10, when he is like a child. Then he goes to adolescence, Kishora, when he is from 11 to 15. And then from 16 onwards, he is called as Yovana. In the Nectar of Devotion, it is described that this age that in which this pastime is being described is also divided into further 3 stages. This Kaumara age is described as the beginning, the middle, and the end, the final part. So in the beginning of this Kaumara age, the Kaumara age is also called Balya, right? The childhood, the baby pastimes of Lord. It's described, the bodily features of the Lord are what increase affection or bind the devotee to Krishna. So it's described that his thighs are fatty and the inner parts of his eyes are whitish. There are signs of teeth coming out. He's very mild and gentle. And he is described as follows. So here's a quote. When Krishna had only 3 or 4 teeth coming out of his gums, his thighs were fatty, his body was very, very short. And he began to enhance the parental love of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda with the activities of his childish body. So I come from Texas, and Radha Kalachandji in Dallas, if you see him, his body is like a child. Just like when you see Ram Lala, no? Who's in Ayodhya. Very similar. Big, round face, and very short body, chubby body. So this is how Krishna looks like when he's a child. And he was sometimes, his activities, he would sometimes stomp with his legs, or he'll move his legs again and again. Sometimes he cries, sometimes he smiles, he sucks his thumb, and sometimes he just lies down flat. And these activities of Krishna increase this maternal affection. So it's described that sometimes he's throwing his legs upwards, and when Mother Yashoda sees this, she does not restrict him, but rather she loves to see him, and she enjoys this childhood pastime, just as the mother likes to see, oh, my child is developing normally. He's able to move all his limbs, he is getting some coordination, there's no deficiency in this child. So I can be assured that physically he's normal, he's healthy. And his dress also increases love, and particularly it is described that Krishna wears a golden necklace in which are set the nails of the tiger. And this golden ornament with the tiger's nails is very attractive to see. Not only that, she protects and then the other part is that he has the protective tilak, the black mascara, the kajal around his eyes, and then he has a silk thread around his waist, also a talisman. And these features of dress emphasize Krishna is a child and increases the paternal affection of Mother Yashoda. Then in the middle part of the Kaumara age, Krishna becomes, it says, his hair now starts to fall around his eyes and about his neck. And he's covered with a cloth around the lower part of his body, and sometimes he's completely naked. Like we see children in Raj, when we go. Sometimes they are running around naked. Sometimes he tries to walk, taking step by step, and sometimes he talks very sweetly in broken language. These are some of the symptoms of his middle Kaumara age. And how does Mother Yashoda see him at this age? She sees that his scattered hairs are touching his eyebrows, his eyes are very restless, moving here and there. He's very curious. A child at this age is very curious. But he could not express his feelings with proper words. He's struggling to. He doesn't speak. He just says, broken language, right? Still, when he is talking, he tries to make some sounds. His talk was so nice and sweet to hear. She finds this broken language very sweet. And when she looks at his small ears and sees him naked, trying to run very quickly with those short, stout legs, right? She is merged into an ocean of nectar. She really relishes this form of Krishna. And then there are other ornaments which are there in this age. There is a pearl which hangs from the septum of his nose, right? And then it also described that the butter smearing his palms makes his palm look very beautiful. And then small bells around his waist, right? So that when he's walking, the sweet sound of the tinkling bells also arouses her affection. That when Mother Yashoda sees the child moving, ringing the bells at his waist, smiling, and when he's smiling, the pearl in the septum of his nose is twinkling, right? And moving back and forth. And then the butter on his hands, she becomes very happy to see Krishna, that he's growing. During this time, his waist becomes thinner. He starts to develop like the beginnings of his boyhood. The chest becomes broader. His head, like we said, is always decorated by his curly hair. And then, again, Mother Yashoda is attracted by this, completely attracted. Then, at the end of his Kaumara age, remember, this is the time when he just starts to herd the cows. He wants to go to herd the cows. So he carries a small stick in his hand. His clothing at this point becomes a little longer. He has a knot around his waist, the belt around his waist, which resembles the hood of a snake. And then in this dress, he used to take care of the calves around the forest just near his house, right? And sometimes he played with cowherd boys of the same age. At this point, he has a small slender flute and a buffalo horn bugle, right? And sometimes he would also make a make-believe flute with the leaves of trees, and he would blow on that flute. And Mother Yashoda would find this very attractive. So when he grows up a little during this time, and he starts to take care of the small calves and go near the forest, sometimes he's a little late in returning home. Then Nanda Maharaj becomes very anxious. What happened to my boy? Is he safe? Are the calves safe? Did he forget his way home? Did some demon attack him? So he goes to this, it's called the Chandra Shalika, that there is a small shed on the top of his palace, on the roof, from where he can get a bird's eye view of Nandagram. And then he's looking from there, trying to see, is Krishna returning home? Is there any signs? And then when he sees there's a cloud coming, and the cloud is getting thicker, and then he tries to see, maybe the boys are returning, maybe Krishna's not there. So then when he spots the peacock feather on Krishna's head, then he turns to Mother Yashoda, who's also anxious, and says, it's okay, I can see his peacock feather, our son is coming home. And he reassures her in this way. So, and then Mother Yashoda would then address him in this way. Here's a quote. See my dear son, whose eyes are white, who has a turban on his head and a wrapper on his body, and leg bells that tinkle very sweetly on his feet. He is coming near along with his Surabhi calves, and just see how he is wandering upon the sacred land of Vrindavan. And then Maharaj Nanda would respond to his wife, my dear Yashoda, just look at your offspring Krishna. See his blackish bodily luster, his eyes tinged with red, his broad chest and his nice golden necklace. How wonderful he looks, and how he is increasing my transcendental bliss more and more. So in this way, the parents of Krishna, the elderly gopis, enjoy the transcendental loving service to Krishna in the mood of his parents. So, and then also when they meditate or they think about his pastimes, his childhood pranks, right? He breaks the milk pots, he throws yogurt in the courtyards, right? He steals the cream from the milk, and then he sometimes breaks the churning rod, or he throws butter on the fire. Sometimes he soils the floor because he gets upset, right? And then Mother Yashoda she shares her ecstasy with one of her maid servants called Mukhara. She says, just look at Krishna, looking steadily towards all sides and slowly stepping forward from the bushes. It appears that he is coming just to steal the butter. Don't expose yourself, or he may understand that we are looking towards him. I want to enjoy the sight of his eyebrows moving in this charming way, and I want to see his fearful eyes and beautiful face. So she catches him, and then she's just enjoying how this child is becoming so clever. No? He knows now to look out for people who may catch him. So he is, making a survey of the landscape, and with his eyes, but he looks so beautiful in this fearful condition. Whereas sometimes when we see fear, the face becomes very ghastly, But this is the transcendental Lord. So, to conclude, here we see that Krishna's majesty or his opulence, his Aishwarya, inspires awe and reverence. But here in the case of Mother Yashoda in the 10th canto, his sweetness is inspiring love. No? So going from the point of awe and reverence, this Madhurya Ras is coming. And these unique childhood pastimes are only demonstrated in Raja. Srila Prabhupada has told us repeatedly that Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes show this, the highest aspect of the absolute truth, only exhibited in Raja. And we are so fortunate that Srila Prabhupada gave us these pastimes even before he translated the 10th canto. No? He gave us the Krishna book. And he gave to us, who are the most fallen, this highest pastime, this highest understanding of the Supreme Lord, so we can become attracted to him and we can develop this relationship And this relationship can become so tight that we forget all the other relationships in this material world. And then by the mercy of our spiritual masters, by Srila Prabhupada, the Parampara, our lordships, and the Vaishnavas, we develop some, a minute degree of attraction for the Supreme Lord Krishna, and approach him in this mood that, oh, let me also serve him and please him. And that would be the success of our lives. So it's 8:30, I guess we've stopped now. I will ask for corrections, questions, reflections now. Hare Krishna. Yeah? Yes. Thank you for playing the mridanga so nicely. Thank you for your training.
Hare Krishna, Mātāji. Thank you for the nice class. Mātāji, we see in this pastime how Krishna reveals his Aishwarya only at certain moments, while most of the time he covers it with his sweetness. And Yogamaya also helps maintain that balance, especially in the Vrindavan pastimes. So Mātāji, my question is, how do we balance formal worship of the Lord with developing a personal relationship with him when we are hearing about him, chanting, remembering? Yeah.
So the question, if I can summarize, is how do we go from Aishwarya, which we are engaged in now, to developing this relationship of love? Like, am I getting the right question? Yes? How do we balance? Okay, how do we balance? So Srila Prabhupada has said that, you said that we worship the Lord in Aishwarya. So we may have deities, of course we have deities in the temple. And even that is Lord Krishna, Radha Vallabha, we still worship him in the mood of Aishwarya. We understand that in the form of, our mood is the form of Aishwarya, that we are his servants and he is the Supreme Master. But it's not just that he is the Supreme Master, we want to serve the Master with love. Not like we serve the Master in material life. In material life, the servant serves the Master with a lot of fear and awe and reverence. The element of love may not be so strong. But as we serve the Lord more and more, as we continue to serve, then slowly our bhakti also matures and our love thickens, just like when we boil milk. No? Initially it's like just milk, right? It's very liquidy, it flows. But as we boil it more and more, it thickens. No? So this example is given, then it becomes like rabdi, right? Or kheer. So similarly, as we engage in our deity worship, following the rules and regulations, right? We have to worship in Aishwarya, otherwise our nature is that we just fall to the lowest level, right? We will commit so many offenses. We will forget to, we may become too familiar. Familiarity breeds contempt. And think, oh, just ordinary, oh, what is it? I have such a close relationship with Krishna. I have, we may step beyond our adhikar. So first, we develop our eligibility for advancing, and we do that by repeatedly, under the direction of the spiritual master, serving the Lord. And as we serve the Lord more and more, and we can see this, right? When you go to school and you first have a teacher. First day of school, no relationship, right? She's the teacher, I'm the student. She's going to give me, he or she is going to give me knowledge, and I'm going to be obedient, and I'll follow what she says. But as we continue in school, in this relationship of student and teacher, servant and master, slowly we find that she also has a personality, right? There are some things which are very endearing, the way the teacher may say a certain word, the way they explain something which they say, which strikes a chord, and we think, oh, this is so cool. She is cool after all. She's not just like a teacher, right? Or just the principal. She's really cool. I can relate to her. Because we have had this relationship and we have done our service properly. So this same thing applies in spiritual life. As we continue to serve under the direction of our spiritual masters properly, then slowly the heart will become transformed. And then we will also, the love will start to blossom, just as milk becomes thick and sweeter. So our relationship with the Lord will also thicken. And I would like to say also that we see it also progressing in this life. Because initially, maybe when we start worshipping the deity or you come to Mangal Aarti, right, it seems like a chore. I have to do it. If I don't do it, it is sinful. My mother will get upset. What will I report to my mentors, right? I will not do well in class, so we do it out of fear. But as we keep doing it, or even it may be, you may be fortunate that you have never eaten meat, but we may have eaten unmentionable things, right? So in the beginning, it may be hard to do. But later on, as we keep doing, now it's a pleasure. I love going to Mangal Aarti. I love to see the Lord in his night dress, right? I love, my friends are there, we love to sing kirtan together and dance. So it becomes more pleasurable. It's not driven by fear, right? There's love developing already. So we see, slowly it's developing. And so what does Nectar of Instruction say? Utsahan nischayat dharyat, right? We have to remain enthusiastic, we have to remain determined, and we have to be patient. And that patience, when Krishna rewards this patience, that's Krishna's department. It's not ours. We just have to qualify ourselves. Then Krishna, with his own sweet will, may reveal to us. And if he doesn't reveal, that's also his prerogative. He's just making the relationship tighter. So we cannot live without him. No? Even with his most intimate devotees, he's constantly increasing the depth of their love. So what to speak of us, right? We can take inspiration from them and see how they are so perfect. Still, Krishna wants to make it more perfect, more perfect. And that is God. No? Everything is unlimitedly increasing. So that is how we can slowly go, and we can increase our longing. Is that okay? Okay, thank you, Krishna. Okay. So we'll stop here. Gantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Mother Yashoda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Sundarangam Kandar Ako Ikamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Jami
Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Bhakti Kayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adi Purusham Tamaham Jami
Govindam Adi Purusham Namaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adi Purusham
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanstam Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Shadaitam Savadhutam चैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सगन ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Namaskar.